Station Master's house. Howard Lantham speaking.
Howard, it's Clive. Clive Smith. I need you to listen to me and not ask questions or interrupt. Can you do that?
Yeah, I can. But why are you calling?
The Emergency Measures Committee is imposing a quarantine around the valley. We've got an influenza outbreak in the village. We're suspending rail services, and we're also going to be shutting down the roads for a bit. You're going to be dealing with some anxious people, Howard, so you need to explain it's all under control, and we'll be back to normal in a few days.
All right.
Open up the emergency store. There's posters and boards, along with a bunch of stuff that hasn't been used since the war. Grab anything you think might be useful. I need you to close up any unoccupied buildings, put posters up, that sort of thing. Make sure everything is all squared away and shipshape. You are a military man, I'm sure you understand that. Everyone doing their bit, following their orders. All right?
All right. I think.
Good man. I knew we could count on you.
Ah, Jesus, Maze. What the hell was that?
That's what caused the infection. Here's a map. Oh, wait. All of this is crossed out, and there's a star on the Vallis Observatory. Oh my god, I don't know what any of this says. The print is too small to read. And the clock is still at 6:07. Well, we'll check upstairs. We'll see if anything is up here. And then we'll move on. So it appears that that phone conversation, that was something that had happened really, really early on. Oh my god, what? All of this blood everywhere. What in the world is this? Is this a train set? Oh my god, it is! Wow. Binoculars. That's pretty cool. So, we have bits and pieces from all of the ends of the story. We have aspects from the beginning. We certainly have aspects from the end. And the middle part is what we're trying to fill in. And obviously come to that final conclusion as to what did really happen.
Repeating over and over to myself in the dark. Eating cold food from a can with my fingers. My name is Catherine Collins. I am Catherine Collins. As if I can force the world to acknowledge my existence. Time has ceased to exist in any real terms. I'm reduced to marking out the days on the walls. Like a cave woman.
So, she is. She's completely lost her mind. And she's still just stuck up in the observatory. I wonder if we really are her. Because that's exactly how I started off this playthrough. I wondered who we were, and I had guessed that we were Catherine Collins, but it's beginning to make more and more sense. Oh. Oh, it's in here. I was going to say, there's an event nearby. Wait a minute, this is the end here. This is the end. No, this is Steven. I don't know if I want to end it yet. I want to see if there's anything else left to explore. Here's what I'll do. I'll walk around for a little bit. Yeah, because the light is still down there. I'm definitely missing something. There's another teddy bear and a baby blanket and a bottle.
I've never
ever seen it?
They do, though.
You're overreacting.
Stephen, they stare at me. Yesterday I went into the village and this old woman just stopped in the middle of the street and stared at me like I had two heads.
Oh, don't be so melodramatic.
I'm like a walking freak show. Oh, this place, it's so insular. I just don't understand how you grew up here.
Well, I was very different then. And they're not so bad, really.
That's easy for you to say.
Just give it a bloody chance, Kate. This was the deal. A year here, and we could be in with a real shot at Lucia.
Stephen!
Oh, Christ, it's Lantham.
Stephen Appleton, I thought it was you. What's all this about a Yank wife? Oh. Hello.
Two heads, Stephen. Hi, I'm Kate.
So that was a conversation we had missed. Yeah, and the light is going over there. There's gotta be like one other thing that I missed. Because normally there's a sound effect whenever you completely figure out all of the conversations. You know, like whether it was the airstrike noise with Frank or whether it was the church bells with Jeremy. And we haven't gotten that yet. There's still unfinished business over here. Yeah, because we didn't even go to the 7th Whistler yet. That's right here, isn't it? Yes, this is it. This is it. This may be the last interaction before the final scene.
You look well.
I don't. But thank you. You too. How are you settling in?
Nothing changes around here. I mean, it's great to be back. It still feels like home, I suppose. In a funny kind of way.
It's been a long time, Stephen. Last time you saw me, I could still walk properly.
You look pretty good to me.
Stop it.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry about how things worked out.
Or didn't.
Or didn't, right.
Do you think you made a mistake leaving?
My mum tells me it's never too late to change things. To put things right.
Funny. It's just what she said to me the other day. I have been wondering what she meant by that.
That's embarrassing. Sorry.
Maybe I should go.
Why?
Stephen, we're both married. I don't think this is a good idea.
What isn't? We're just two old friends having a drink, that's all.
Two old friends having a drink. I don't know about that. It seems like it led to a lot more than just that. Okay, so we visited the homes over there. We visited the construction site. I mean, I don't see any more areas we could visit and have there be a conversation. But you never know in this game. I'm going to take another little walk around and see if there's anywhere else we can go. Well, I do believe we've been everywhere. The light is over here. And normally wherever the light is, that's where it wants you to go. We've explored this entire area. All of it seems to be a dead end. So, if this is the end of the game, let's see how prepared we really are for it. Because I don't know what kind of finality we're going to get. Here we go, my friends. The end of Stephen's story.
Darling Stephen, I don't know if you'll ever listen to this. Maybe you've decided to stay with Kate, and I can't blame you for that. But I can't wait for you either. I've got to think about the baby. And, well, I should have left a long time ago. I've run out of excuses for not leaving now. But I do love you, Stephen. And I hope you find peace one way or another. Oh, there's planes coming.
Wow. Do we have to... I don't know where we have to go. Look at the patterns in the sky. It's traveling through the lines. It's traveling through the power lines. You can see it. And it's heading to the substation. Oh my God. We're about to go back to the bunker. This is it. I am fairly confident this is the end of the game. Oh my God. The door's open. Oh my God. This is it. Oh man, the light I guess is coming in with me. I don't know what we'll find down here, but somehow I don't think it'll end well.
When I was a kid, my dad found a fox. It had been hit by a car and couldn't walk anymore. My mum went spare, of course, made him keep it in the shed. He was already slipping away from us then. He spent hours with that fox, telling it all about Italy and the villages they bombed there. I was jealous, I think. That the fox got more of my dad than I did. But it was dying, that was clear. So one day, I snuck out, took it a sandwich for food. I was only 8. When it bit me, I remember the anger, the shock, the hurt. Running in, screaming from the garden, my mum panicking about rabies. My dad beat it to death with a spade. Later I found him crying. I'd done it, Kent's son. That's what he said. I'd done it, Ken, it was hurting you. That's just a poor, dumb, dying animal. It doesn't know it's hurting us. Christ help us, it's left the valley. It's everywhere now. It's been 3 hours since the planes went over. I haven't been able to reach anyone on the shortwave. I'm beginning to think I may have made a terrible miscalculation.
I don't have any words. Wait a minute. Are we Steven? Is that possible? I don't even know anymore, man.
What are you? You understand me, don't you? Well, there's no one left. Just me. You know what this is? What I'm gonna do? You want light? Fine. I'll give you light. After me, there's no one. You'll be all alone again. Forever. Like before. You've taken everyone I've ever loved from me. You've made me do things I never even thought I was capable of. But if you think I'm coming with you... Kate? Wait. Stop. Kate.
Oh my God. There's nothing left.
This is Catherine Collins. I don't know if anyone will ever hear this. It's all over. I'm the only one left.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're back at the observatory. And Kate is the sixth person. I mean, we have to check these towers, but... I don't know. Oh my God, look at, these are all... Those are the butterfly... signatures, the patterns. Okay, so while we're exploring this, we'll try to decipher what Steven's final scene was. We're taking a walk down to the bunker where Steven was. Oh my God, look at all of the scribblings. Oh my God. Does this work?
On the plane, Steven leaned across me and pointed out of the window. Down there, he said. That's home. But all I saw were patches of color. I don't think until this moment that I understood that one could contain the other so completely.
So I guess there are some things we can figure out in this last little bit. But Steven was telling us a story from his childhood about how his father had a fox and how he paid more attention to the fox than to him, and that made him jealous. And then the fox either had rabies or it was going mad, and then his father had to kill it. And then from that point on, it seemed like his father was a broken man. What I don't understand quite yet is at the end, Stephen mentioned Kate's name when the light was in his presence. So has she become the light?
I know it didn't mean to hurt any of them. I try and explain why Lizzie tried to leave with her child and why it was wrong to stop her. I try and explain that much of what it did was wrong. It shows me Stephen and Lizzie together. And I'm happy for them. Frank walks his fields with Mary. Wendy and Edward nest together in the orchards of their love. Jeremy lies at peace with his God at last. All of them are happy because they are together. I understand it better now. It is a collector of time. No butterflies.
Oh my God! It's just pictures. She's taken pictures of it. And it seems like I'm gonna have to go check tower number 2 to see if there's a tape recorder there. But it seems like it isn't evil at all. It seems like it's trying to preserve time. Like she said, it's a collector of time of butterflies. So it's just a loop, because the symbols that are printing out, that's all it is. It's an infinite loop. It'll eventually play back on itself. It's starting to make sense. I hope I'm getting it. Because that's all the sense I can make of it. I may have missed a tape recorder here. That's why I'm coming back to tower number 2. Yes, I missed one. Here it is.
I watched a butterfly dancing in a strip of sunlight. All of its life contained in a single day. The blink of an eye between the ebb of the darkening tide. Lying there with the pattern curled around me, I saw the inevitability. The necessity of presence born from absence. The constant unfolding.
She was digging so far to find the truth about this light that over time it just she became the light. I think that's what this game is trying to present. I had a feeling this game would end at the observatory. And it looks like there's something over there. But we still have a little bit left to explore.
I watched the pattern lean in and time slow to almost nothing. I saw the flame leap from Stephen's hand and the moment hang in the air forever. I watched his face. And in the last second, I almost believe he saw me. He wasn't frightened or angry. I remember his expression, just like I remember it from the first time, early that morning when he woke and, still half sleeping, said, "God, I love you." And I loved him as he entered the fire, and I let him go, knowing I wasn't ready to join him. We have held time to ourselves here in this place. Held the light to the ground because we were afraid of the coming dark. But now we understand that to cling to the light is not living. I've spent my life watching the illumination from a million dead stars reaching for me without grasping this meaning. The light we cast transcends our death. The pattern made by our living creates a bridge across the dark.
Just wow. I don't know what to say.
It reaches out from the shadow of the tower, across the observatory, over the valley, and consumes the world. Everything is light now. Everything has come to rest. The world is scored by the traces we carved into it. Our presence is everywhere, the bridge joining our stories. This world existed before we came to it, and it will continue without us. In the empty fields and houses, our traces radiate, and others will come to dance in the light we cast. We can slip away gently, unafraid, knowing that everything will continue.
So I assume she was just sitting here and the light was manifesting itself. And that's how she was able to just observe it and communicate with it. Well, that was tower number 5. And we make our way to tower number 6. You know, whatever happens, I've truly enjoyed the experience. And we're about to find the conclusion together. It's the last recorder. This is it.
The end is coming now. I'm not afraid. We have each other. We lived apart from them. We understand now our failure to touch, to belong. But it doesn't matter anymore. Everybody is gone, and we will join them. We are born apart, driftwood on the banks of an endless dark ocean, and we will be carried away by the swell soon enough. But in between, in the single day of living, that dancing in a strip of sunlight, we can find what we miss. The love that makes us whole. The imminence. Everybody found their other. This pattern is mine.
Wow. Wow. So that's how it ended. Everyone found their other, and hers is the pattern. All right, everyone, so that was the ending to Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. Now, I wanted to do a little piece just like I did at the end of part 6, where while I'm going through and editing this, I wanted to do a little bit of post-commentary on my commentary. You know, things that I may have missed during the live playthrough of the game, and I figured that it would be a good time to do it during the credits while they're rolling, because it gives recognition to the developers and the actors and actresses that, you know, portrayed the voices of these characters in the game. So I just figured it would be a good backdrop. Anyway, continuing on, the most important tape recorders that we listened to at the end, in my opinion, were 4, 5, and 6. The first one that we listened to in Tower 1 was the first one in the order of the tape recorders. I did go a little bit out of order. In the video that, you know, you just watched, I had actually played the recorders 1, 3, 2, and then 4, 5, and 6. So, because I didn't realize that, you know, there may have been a recorder at number 2 until I got up to Tower 3 and I saw one there as well. So I figured I'd go back and replay it. But the first tape recorder talked about how Kate and Stephen first arrived back to his, you know, place of birth, back to Yawton. I shouldn't say Yawton. When they arrived back to Shropshire. That's the actual location of the game. Yawton was like a little village in Shropshire. So yeah, the first tape recorder was them flying in a plane over, you know, the town. And then the second tape recorder, which was actually the third one that we viewed, mainly was just like a little bit of filler behind the backstory of the light and what had been happening. The third one is where we actually get some back information about how the light is actually a collector of time. You know, this anomaly, this pattern, as they refer to it in the game, it isn't something that's there to harm the people of Shropshire, or, more specifically, the people of Earth. They made reference to it multiple times during the course of the story, but the light, it's kind of an alive entity, but I don't know if it's as intelligent as, you know, the human race. It just knows what companionship is to a degree, and it's been seeking out companionship over the entire universe. And they said that it was lonely because it had traveled from such a long ways away. And during the third tape recorder, Kate said that she could see everyone with their other half. She could see Stephen and Lizzie together, she could see Frank and Mary together, and she could see Wendy and Edward. And she said it was a collector of time. Now that's a very important phrase, because I don't believe it's those people that were raptured that are in the light with it. It's the memories that those people had before they were raptured that are in the light with it. Now that's something that I don't think we know. Out of all the online forums and stuff that I've looked up since I've beaten the game, which was a few days ago, but it takes a little while to edit out all these parts and stuff, I haven't seen any references to what people think. Like if people think that, you know, these characters are alive and they're just living out their lives together in this light, or if it's just their memories that are living out their lives together. I would seem to think, and I'd seem to bet, that it would be the memories, just because, like I said during the recording, these timelines are like loops. It plays back on itself. So I feel like that it was just the memories, the imprints that we viewed throughout the course of the game, and memories that happened before the game, you know, events took place. Those are the events that are being played out. And then relating back to Stephen's story, as we were walking down the bunker to his last final resting area, he was talking about, you know, this fox, and I didn't really get the significance of the fox story until one of my friends and I got the chance to talk about the game after I had beaten it, and he said that the significance of that story, and it was actually pointed out in, you know, the dialogue in the game, but I was just so immersed in the experience that I wasn't paying, you know, close enough attention to the words that were actually being, you know, presented on the screen. He said that the significance of the fox story was that the fox didn't know that it hurt Stephen. Possibly because it had rabies, or possibly just because it was startled by him and it bit him. But much like the fox didn't know that it hurt Stephen, this light, this pattern that's killing people, doesn't know that it's harming them. It's trying to have companionship, and the side effect of trying to connect with these other life forms, like the birds and the people of this town, is that when it infected them, it would kill them. However, then it could spend the rest of its days with those people, those memories of those people, I should say. But still, that's a very lonely existence, and I totally get the lonely undertones that, you know, the voice actors and actresses were trying to convey when they said that the light seemed like it was lonely, like it had this sense of loneliness, and Kate was the one that really brought that out, especially towards the end of the game. So that was the third tape recorder. The fourth one was probably the most eye-opening out of all of them. The fourth one was talking about how when Stephen saw the light coming at him, when he was sitting in the chair down in the bunker, he saw Kate in the light, and that was valid. She said that he had the same expression on his face as he did from that morning when they had woken up and he said, "God, I love you." So he did understand that she and the light had become one, and then when he was raptured, his lighter fell, and it set the entire bunker on fire. That's why there were, like, you know, black char marks on the pillars and on the floor around the chair, was because his plan, after all this was said and done to make sure that there were no survivors in the town, his plan was to set himself on fire. Tape recorder number 5, it was just a message for all of us, and, you know, specifically for the characters in the game, that, you know, when we die, our legacies will live on in this world. And eventually, you know, whether or not there is other life that comes and views our, you know, our legacies or what we leave behind in terms of physical evidence, or in this game, it would be memories and conversations with others, that we truly never die, because there's always a little bit of a remnant of us left behind. And then you go into the 6th tape recorder, which was basically Kate reiterating what she had said in the 3rd one. That, you know, in the light, she could see Stephen and Lizzie, she could see Frank and Mary, and Jeremy and God, and Wendy and Edward, and that those were their significant others. And Kate said that her significant other was this pattern. So that is kind of the story in a nutshell. That's what I've been able to gather from all of this. And, you know, that brings us to the actual ending of the game. I'm sure there are a lot of other little intricacies that will continue to be, you know, found over the course of, you know, time that this game is actually in the hands of the people. And I'm sure that people will find more Easter eggs and more conversations. I know I didn't find everything, because the only trophy that I got was right at the end, the one that said "the end" for the game. And so I know that there were other, you know, telephone conversations, radio conversations that I missed that you can actually find within the game. So, you know, one day I may go back when I'm bored and I don't, you know, have anything to play, and I will try to play through it again and understand it. And you wouldn't believe, actually going through and editing all this footage, it makes so much more sense now than it did in the moment. So I just wanted to, you know, do a little bit of a post commentary, make sure that people understood, you know, exactly what I was trying to convey about the game in the moment, and, you know, after the actual video is done. I didn't want to leave it on a bad note. I wanted people to, you know, understand at least the core concepts of the story that people as a group have agreed that, you know, the point that these developers were trying to get across to us with this game. So I just wanted to do my best, and I wanted to help play a part and, you know, say thank you to all of you who have made it this far with my series. That's about it. If you have any questions or any theories, you know, leave them down in the comments below. You know, we can talk about it, and I can try to answer, you know, any other questions that you may have. If something wasn't clear in my video, or if somebody else had said something on another video and you were kind of comparing playthroughs, you know, just let me know. I'm always thrilled to talk about it, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So, from the bottom of my heart, I truly enjoyed this experience, and I thank you for watching it with me. And I hope you enjoyed what you saw and that you'll stick with the channel for, you know, upcoming playthroughs. We've got Tales from the Borderlands Episode 4 coming out on Tuesday the 18th, which is now officially today, as I'm editing this video at midnight on the 17th going into the 18th. And that'll, you know, bring us into next week, which then Until Dawn comes out. So we got a lot of story-based games coming up. I'm going to be doing a couple one-off games here and there. And I just hope everybody enjoys the content. So my name is Aaron, but you can also call me Enigma. And thank you for watching Everybody's Gone to the Rapture. And I hope you enjoyed your experience. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.